Greetings, friend, entrepreneur, and fellow business builder. I'm Marketing Master Jim Ackerman, and this is BizKaboom's Good, Bad, and Ugly Ads. I'm going to show you a marketing specimen. You're going to tell me whether it's good, bad, or ugly from a marketing effectiveness point of view. Then I'm going to tell you whether I agree with you or not, and I promise I'll also tell you why. All right, today, a little bit different. I'm going to show you an ad specimen, and then I'm going to show you a remake of that same ad specimen, and we'll compare one and the other, and you can have your vote on the good, bad, and the ugly. This is a print ad that appears in a newspaper, and it's a full-size newspaper, which means it's 21 inches tall. The size of the ad itself is 5 inches wide. I'm going to show you a slightly shrunken down version of it, because I had to fit it on a 8.5 by 14 piece of paper, a legal sheet of paper. So this is an ad for a jewelry store having a promotion for Effy Jewelry. And Effy has supplied the photograph, but the jewelry store owner had to supply the rest of the copy. Okay? So we've got a picture of a beautiful woman, and she's wearing the jewelry. That makes sense. That's what you expect to see out of a jewelry ad. And the headline says, "The days are flying by. It's almost July 13th. Are you ready?" Okay, what kind of a headline is that? All right, then it says free gifts, fun, entertainment. Oh, who doesn't like free gifts, fun, and entertainment? And it says, "Come and see what these stars are wearing." And it names Jennifer Lopez, Claire Danes, Taylor Swift, and a host of others. There's 8 of them all told right there. And by the way, take note of the type style that they've chosen to use. Fine jewelry from Effy, and there's a block of type down here that is in reverse type, white type on a black background. And then it has the name of the store, the phone number, and those kinds of things. So this is the original ad. What I want you to do is pass judgment on this ad right now, okay? Think in terms of whether you think the headline is effective, whether you think the photograph is effective for that matter, what you think of the choice of typeface, what you think of the appeals that have been made throughout the course of the ad, and so on, and then come back with a verdict whether it's good, bad, or ugly. So you can go ahead and stop the video, examine this as closely as possible. We're going to put it up in pieces so that you get a chance to actually read it. If we just put it up all in one screen, you'd have trouble reading any of it. It'd be too small. So we're going to chunk it for you. But when you're done, come back, and I will talk about the strengths and weaknesses of it, and then show you a makeover and give you the pros and cons of that as well. All right, so I hope you had a good chance to examine this, and let's talk about the pluses and pros and cons of it, okay? First of all, the photograph is rather intriguing. It is a beautiful woman, and women like to feel beautiful. They like jewelry. Men like to give women jewelry because women like it. That has payoffs for the men, as you men know. So that's a good start. There's some type at the bottom of the photograph that tells you where Effy Jewelry has its owned locations, but you can't read it at all. It's reverse type, and on newsprint, you'd never be able to read it. All right? The days are flying by. It's almost July 13th. Are you ready? Not a very good headline. It's based entirely on curiosity. Am I ready for what is what they're hoping you're going to ask yourself, and then that will make you drive into the rest of the copy. And then it does say free gifts. Huh? Free gifts? Who doesn't like those? That's good fun and entertainment. And it does have the names of the stars down here. My contention, however, is that the stars provide some intrigue that may be more compelling than anything else in the ad, and I'm anxious to hear your comments about that. The reverse type, again, is going to be next to impossible to read in newsprint. It is a sans serif face that is fairly skinny, and when you get the natural bleed of newsprint, it's going to be almost illegible entirely. And at the bottom, the name of the jeweler himself is bigger than the name of the jeweler's company. The phone number is bigger than the address. Not a good idea, generally speaking, but none of that is particularly important because you probably wouldn't have gotten all the way through the ad. So this one is bad. Let's take a look now at the Makeover, and you can see the difference between these two layouts. They start out the same with the photograph, but at that point in time, everything else about the ad on the left is different from the ad on the right. So let's take a look at the new ad and talk about its relative merits. Same picture, same size. All right. What do these stars have in common? Instantly, at the top is the headline. So we make the next focus of the ad after the photograph, the headline. What do these stars have in common? What happens to your brain when you are posed a question like that? The mind has to have answers to its questions. So the mind naturally says, I don't know which stars you're talking about yet. And so you immediately are driven further down into the copy to see the names of the stars. And by the way, there's another photograph with a caption underneath of who that person actually is. So that is where it starts. And then underneath that, it tells you what all these stars have in common. They all wear Effy Jewelry, and if they want to buy it in Vermont, they must come to Diamonds and More. Okay. And then it says July 13th, for one day only, introducing scarcity into the equation, Diamonds and More introduces Vermont to Effy. Now there's a big chunk of body copy here that talks about the designer and the designer's jewelry, and also talks about the offers that are being made at the event. That's called a copy block. That's body copy of the ad. And many people will say to me, well, nobody will read that. Au contraire, they will read it if they're interested. If they've looked at this and looked at this and looked at this and they're still interested, there's a good chance that they will read the rest of that body copy. It's not a big block of copy, but you would call this overall a copy-heavy ad by comparison to the typical jewelry ad, which is a piece of jewelry, the name of the brand, and the store, and that's about it. All right. Then you have Diamonds and More, and a picture of the owner and his wife, and the location information below. My argument is that this is better from every perspective than this, including typeface choice. Consider this for a minute. We're talking about jewelry, an elegant item. And what do we have here? Chunky type. The type here, a serif typeface, is reflective of the elegance of the jewelry itself. And so it maintains the feel of the photograph. And then all the elements from the headline to the subhead below to the body copy and the offers all contribute to pulling the eye through the body copy, rendering benefits to the prospect, and getting them to recognize the urgency of the offer and that they must come on that specific day. This one bad, this one good, and that's my verdict on the Makeover ads. Hope you found that enlightening. Wonder what you thought of both of the two ads. Leave your comments below. Share it with your friends. Subscribe to the channel and continue to build your arsenal of marketing know-how, skills, and systems as you continue to watch our episodes of Good, Bad, and Ugly Ads, and you continue to improve in your ability to get more customers who pay you more money more often, the fastest, easiest, most cost-effective ways possible.